Aaron Klein, Jerusalem correspondent for Worldnetdaily, has been doing some research on Obama, Carter, and their relationship with the terrorist organization Hamas. He is here to tell us what he's found out. Aaron Klein, welcome back to the Savage Nation.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for having me on again.
You telling me Hamas is endorsing a U.S. presidential candidate?
Yeah, Michael. It's actually official now. The Hamas terrorist organization has officially endorsed Barack Obama for president. I'm not kidding you. Just a little while ago, I did an interview with Ahmed Youseff, who's the senior political advisor to the Hamas terrorist organization in the Gaza Strip. Ahmed Youseff is basically the political architect of Hamas. He's Western educated. He knows quite a bit about American politics, about European politics. And during the course of the interview, and we have audio that we're going to play on the Savage Nation. During the course of the interview, this Hamas leader and Hamas political architect said that he hopes, and his Hamas organization hopes, that Barack Obama will win the presidential elections in the United States and change America's foreign policy. He actually said that he likes Mr. Obama, and he compared Barack Obama to John F. Kennedy. He said that both of them are great men with great principles, and they have a great vision to change America.
Yeah, well, let's hear the clip.
We don't mind, actually. We like Mr. Obama, and we hope that he will the election. And I do believe he is like John Kennedy, great man with a great principle.
And now you have Ahmed Youseff, the political architect, political advisor to Hamas in Gaza, endorsing Barack Obama. And I didn't even ask him during the interview who he favored. He just went on and on about Barack Obama.
Okay, so there is a Hamas official that wants Obama to be elected. What do you think that means?
Well, you can go onto the Gaza Strip, and you won't believe this. Actually, in Gaza, they have formed different youth groups, teenagers who are going around in different internet cafes in Gaza and actually going online and trying to urge Americans through emails to vote for Barack Obama. So we have Gazans who are working for him. And actually, apparently, if you look further into the overall story of Barack Obama and Hamas, it's very interesting. You have Obama's church newsletter, the very famous Trinity United Church of Christ. I'm sure we all know this church. And on the church newsletter, on the pastor page of Reverend Jeremiah Wright, they've actually reprinted, among other things, an official Hamas opinion piece where Hamas basically compares its charter, which calls for the murder of Jews. They compare that to the Declaration of Independence and then go on, and this is a Hamas official whose opinion piece is being reprinted in Obama's church newsletter. They go on and they compare Hamas resistance to other resistance in the past. They don't use the word terrorism. You go and you look at who is Senator Barack Obama and what was he doing before he ran for president. And one thing that's incredible and that hasn't received much media attention, I found that Barack Obama, among other things, he was going around in the 1990s, the late 1990s, and raising money for Palestinian causes. For one thing, he attended and he was one of the main speakers at a fundraiser raising money for Palestinian so-called refugees. These are foreign Arabs who say that they're Palestinian and that they were kicked out of their homes in 1948. And Obama has been going around raising money for them. This is actually a very extremist thing, raising money for Palestinian refugees. And one person who was present at this event is a well-known pro-Palestinian activist. His name's Ali Abu Nima. And Abu Nima said something very interesting. He said that Barack Obama told him a little bit later in 2004 that for now he really can't say much about Palestine because he's in a tough primary race. He was running in 2004 for the Senate. But Barack Obama apparently told this Palestinian activist, I'm hoping when things calm down, I can be more upfront about Palestine. More upfront about Palestine. What does that mean? Does that mean that Barack Obama has some sort of other agenda when it comes to the Israeli-Palestinian issue that he's not speaking up about?
What did you dig up about Obama's advisors?
One is a guy named Robert Malley, who is one of his foreign policy advisors, and Robert Malley has actually, get this, he's petitioned in opinion pieces in the Washington Post, in the New York Times, for America and the European Union to create dialogue with Hamas. So there's an Obama advisor who's actually publicly going around and calling for negotiations and dialogue with Hamas. You have another Obama advisor, and this is actually Obama's campaign co-chairman and his chief military advisor, Merrill McPeak, who has given interviews where he implied that Jews in America are the problem impeding a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. So in other words, it's not the terrorists who are shooting at Jews and firing rockets into Jewish population centers that is impeding peace, according to Obama's military advisor. It's actually Jewish voters who are right-wing in New York and Miami. You have another Obama advisor, actually a former advisor, Samantha Power. She quit about a month and a half ago because she made controversial statements about Hillary Clinton, but Power was going around and talking about actually advocating giving money to the state of Palestine instead of giving money to the Israeli military. That's a Barack Obama campaign advisor.
Obama's views on Palestine are starting to sound just like Jimmy Carter.
Indeed. Yeah, and all of this comes after the very famous visit, very well covered by the media, of Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter, who tried to go to the Gaza Strip. He met in Egypt with senior Hamas officials, and then he went over to Syria, where he met with Hamas's chief, Khalid Meshal, and other Hamas leaders. And what he basically talked to them about, and this is really important, he talked with Hamas about creating some sort of ceasefire with Israel. And then after Jimmy Carter came here, it was announced that Carter had this great breakthrough that he's going to achieve a 10-year truce, a 10-year ceasefire with Israel. Well, actually, this is no breakthrough. Hamas has been trying to push through this 10-year ceasefire with Israel for about 3-4 years now, and they explain to anyone who listens that the ceasefire is actually an attempt to ultimately defeat the Jewish state. The ceasefire that was pushed through by Carter, it actually calls for Israel to evacuate the entire West Bank, the entire eastern Jerusalem, including the Temple Mount. And if Israel evacuates all of this, and the entire West Bank, even leftist political parties in Israel don't call for the Jewish state to give up that much territory. So basically, if Israel withdraws to truncated Auschwitz borders, then Hamas will cease firing on Israel for up to 10 years. This is the great truce that was pushed through by Jimmy Carter. And Barack Obama didn't really have much to say about Jimmy Carter's visit. He condemned Hamas as a terror group, but Obama wouldn't specifically condemn Carter. He said that Carter is a free person. He's an individual who can do whatever he wants. So we really need to know, going into this election, who it is that Barack Obama really stands for, what it is he stands for. And when it comes to Hamas, when it comes to terrorism, does he agree with Hamas or does he condemn them? We don't know. Hamas is also very interestingly claiming, they won't mention any names, but they've claimed in interviews that they also met with prominent members of the Democratic Party aside from Jimmy Carter. Apparently advisors to different Democratic officials, but they wouldn't name just who it is that from the Democratic Party that Hamas is claiming to have met. And when you tie everything together, Obama's church, Obama's advisors, Obama's statements are really not condemning Jimmy Carter's visit with Hamas, it really begs the question, does Hamas have any link, any relationship with Barack Obama or any of his advisors? And to that, I think we're just going to have to pay close attention to the news to find the answers.
Aaron Klein, thanks for being on the Savage Nation.
Michael, thanks so much for having me on. Can't wait to come on again.
Savage.